repeat after me, please. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Nishevite nan imittena swa dharmena mahiyasa kriya yogena shastena natihim srena nityashaha.
It would just be enough of this.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nishevitena nimittena dharmena mahiyasa swadharmena mahiyasa kriya yogena shastena natihim strena nityashaha. Nishevitena nimittena swadharmena mahiyasa kriya yogena shastena natihim srena nityashaha. Nishevitena nimittena swadharmena mahiyasa kriya yogena shastena natihim srena nityashaha. Nishevitena nimittena swadharmena mahiyasa kriya yogena shastena natihim srena nityashaha. The word towards synonyms, translations and purports by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If you can repeat after me, please. Nishevitena, executed. Animittena, without attachment to the result.
Without attachment to the result.
Swadharmena, by one's prescribed duties. Mahiyasa, glorious. Kriya yogena, by devotional activities. Shastena, auspicious. Na, without. Atihim srena, excessive violence. Nityashaha, regularly. So that means executed without attachment to the result, by one's prescribed duties, glorious, by devotional activities, auspicious, without excessive violence, regularly. Translation. A devotee must execute his prescribed duties which are glorious without material profit, without excessive violence. One should regularly perform one's devotional service. Very interesting instruction. Purport. One has to execute his prescribed duties according to his social position as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra. The prescribed duties of the four classes of men in human society are also described in Bhagavad Gita. The activities of Brahmanas are to control the senses and to become simple, clean. Sorry, very nice spider here. Hare Krishna. The prescribed duties of the four classes of men in human society are also described in Bhagavad Gita. The activities of Brahmanas are to control the senses and to become simple, clean, learned devotees. The Kshatriyas have the spirit for ruling. They are not afraid on the battlefield and they are charitable. The Vaishyas, or the mercantile class of men, trade in commodities, protect cows, and develop agricultural produce. The Shudras, or labor class, serve the higher classes because they themselves are not very intelligent. From every position, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Swa Karmena Tam Abhyarcha. One can serve the Supreme Lord by performing one's prescribed duty. It is not that only the Brahmana can serve the Supreme Lord and not the Shudras. Anyone can serve the Supreme Lord by performing his prescribed duties under the direction of a spiritual master, a representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one should think that his prescribed duties are inferior. A Brahmana can serve the Lord by using his intelligence. And the Kshatriya can serve the Lord by using his military arts, just as Arjuna served Krishna. Arjuna was a warrior. He had no time to study Vedanta or other highly intellectual books. The damsels of Rajdham were girls born in the Vaishya families, Vaishya class, and they engaged in protecting cows and producing agriculture. Krishna's foster father, Nanda Maharaj, and his associates were all Vaishyas. They were not at all educated, but they could serve Krishna by loving him and by offering everything to him. These things they did. Similarly, there are many instances in which Chandalas, or lower class than Shudras, have served Krishna. Also, the sage Vidura was considered a Shudra because his mother happened to be Shudra. There is no distinction, for it is declared by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita that anyone engaged specifically in devotional service is elevated to the transcendental position without a doubt. Everyone's prescribed duty is glorious if it is performed in devotional service of the Lord, without desire for profit. Such loving service must be performed without reason, without impediment, and spontaneously. These three things. Krishna is lovable, and one has to serve him in whatever capacity one can. This is pure devotional service. Another significant phrase in this verse is Natihim Shrena, that is, with minimum violence or sacrifice of life. Even if a devotee has to commit violence, it should not be done beyond what is necessary. Sometimes the question is put before us, you ask us not to eat meat, but you are eating vegetables. Do you think that is not violence? The answer is that eating vegetables is violence, and vegetarians are also committing violence against other living entities because vegetables also have life. Non-devotees are killing cows, goats, and so many other animals for eating purposes, And a devotee who is vegetarian is also killing. But here, significantly, it is stated that every living entity has to live by killing another entity. This is the law of nature. Jivo jivasya jivanam. One living entity is a life for another living entity. But for a human being, that violence should be committed only as much as necessary. A human being is not to eat anything which is not offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yagna shishta shinaha santaha. One becomes freed from all sinful reactions by eating foodstuffs which are offered to Yagna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A devotee therefore eats only prasad or foodstuffs offered to the Supreme Lord. And Krishna says that when a devotee offers him foodstuffs from the vegetable kingdom with devotion, he eats that. A devotee is to offer to Krishna foodstuffs prepared from vegetables. If the Supreme Lord wanted foodstuffs prepared from animal food, the devotee could offer this. But he does not order to do that. We have to commit violence, that is a law of nature. We should not, however, commit violence extravagantly, but only as much as offered by the Lord. Arjuna engaged in the art of killing, and although killing is, of course, violence, he killed the enemy simply on Krishna's order. In the same way, if we commit violence as it is necessary by the order of the Lord, that is called natihimsa. We cannot avoid violence, for we are put into a conditional life in which we have to commit violence. But we should not commit violence, then more violence than necessary or than ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachari ब्रह्मचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं दैवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। So welcome everyone once again, and thank you very much to Arjuna Prabhu and also Madhumangal Prabhu, Dadaji, for making sure that things are organized nicely and devotees can participate online as well for this class. All glories to all your services. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So I'll repeat the translation again. The verse in the translation, there are some very important instructions in this verse. Actually, when I was meditating upon this verse is very critical for us to get the impetus of intensifying our bhakti. If you understand the points in this verse, it can jump-start our bhakti. And I'll share those realizations to the best of my ability. So the verse is, Nishevitena nimittena swadharmena mahiyasa kriya yogena shastena natihim srena nityashaha. A devotee must execute his prescribed duties, which are glorious, without material profit, without excessive violence. One should regularly perform one's devotional activities. So, in this verse, there are two words very important in this verse. One is, in the very first line, says animittena, which means without attachment to the results. This is one thing. And second word is swadharmena, one's prescribed duties. Now this second word, of these two words, the first word, animittena, is very widely discussed and understood. Animittena meaning without attachment to result. There's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says that your role is to perform your duties, but you have no authority on the results of your action. That leave it to me. We know this. It's very widely understood. But the second point, swadharmena, by one's prescribed duties, this is highly understood. Interesting, understood. And I believe, at least for myself, not spent enough time on. So I'll repeat this translation again. A devotee must execute his prescribed duties which are glorious, without material profit. Without excessive violence, one should regularly perform one's devotional activities. Now here, Lord Kapila Dev is instructing Mother Devhuti, and in the very initial instruction is saying that a devotee, that means not to be devotee, but a devotee who is already performing devotional service. He's saying must execute his prescribed duties, which are glorious, without material profit. These three things are mentioned. So each prescribed duty are glorious, and we should not change it. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says we must not change the prescribed duties. And third thing is saying that without material profit, we must perform prescribed duties. That is one aspect of it. Second instruction is giving, second set of instruction is saying that without excessive violence, one should regularly perform one's devotional activities. So there are two separate things he's talking about. We mix prescribed duties with bhakti yoga. There are two separate things. It is, if we can understand the importance of the prescribed duty, then we will stand and we will give time on understanding what are our prescribed duties. Each one of us have set of prescribed duties which are different to one another. Generally, we very simplify this information, saying that we are born in any varnas, as a Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra. That's all right. But we can perform devotional service. Then prescribed duties according to our nature does not matter. Yes, that is true, but at a certain level it is true. Here, if it was not that relevant, then Lord Kapil Dev would not have instructed two separate instructions. Every living being a devotee or not, has a set of prescribed duties, and they all are glorious. A person, now we understand that these prescribed duties are manifest on the body of a living being according to one's past karmas. Chaturvidha. And Krishna says that 4 kinds of people come to me. And Krishna says that these 3 modes of material nature, which affects every body, ascertains the prescribed duty which a living being has to perform. This is very significant. And that is why Prabhupada says that the caste system is artificial. Main thing is that the 3 modes, how they are affecting us. Chaturvarnya Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagasya. So the Guna and Karma, the Gunas, the 3 Gunas and the Karmas, actions associated with them are developed by Krishna. So we as individuals, we have to find out what are the Gunas affecting us. Now this is very hard because there is no one Guna. Mode of goodness affecting, and now passion is affecting separately, and now ignorance is affecting separately. They all are intertwined together, like this. My fingers are going to go across. So 3 becomes 9, 9 becomes 81, 81 becomes 3 times, and then 3 again, 3 again, 3. All very complicated. That's the reason why unknowingly, we are in the whirlpool of the 3 gunas. In the Bhagavad Gita, the word is used by Krishna as Gunormi Chakram. Chakram means a whirlpool of gunas, 3 gunas. You see? And we are victimized. Unknowingly, we are affected by some gunas, some modes. Now, if we do not spend time in understanding what modes are affecting us, then we do not know that what are the prescribed duties affected by that mode, associated with that mode. Is it not so? Now, for example, if a person who is a Vaishya tendency person, business, mercantile, now of course he can become a devotee, perfectly all right. But if he becomes a pujari, he starts to take care of the deities, he starts doing business in the department. Similarly, to manage people is a very different trait. It's a trait which is of a Kshatriya, for example. So if a Brahmana starts to do this, Brahmana can't do anything. But generally speaking, what does Brahmana do? Prabhupada writes here, Brahmana, he controls his senses, calms the senses down, and then he uses his intelligence. Okay? It's a very personal, individual thing a Brahmana does. And he does not work for his own material benefit. Now, if this is what, technically speaking, a Krishna's devotee who is performing pujari service should do. But if there is not, the modes are different, he keeps thinking, how do I become opulent? How do I become opulent? I need to do this. And complication begins. Chaos happens. This is practical. There's nothing to hide in this. This is fact. Whereas, now, if a Brahmana becomes a leader, he has to manage so many people, so many thinkings, He has to manage things. Diplomacy, he doesn't know how to do diplomacy. So he says yes to him also, yes to them also, yes to them also, and goes on and cries, He said, I can't do this, Krishna, what have you done to me, And there's all chaos there. Similarly, if a Shudra is a leader, He doesn't have the intelligence to understand where a person is coming from, where the next step going. Now, a leader means he has to forecast. This is happening, this way it is going, that means we should move accordingly. So I should take the whole crowd with me in this way. This is not needed. There is needed hard decisions, diplomacy, removing the politics. A proper Kshatriya leader means no politics. Because if he doesn't play politics, others will not play politics, you see. This chaos doesn't happen. So that is the reason why here, very significantly, Lord Kapil Dev says a devotee must execute his prescribed duties according to his modes, which all are glorious. And Prabhupada mentions this, that all are glorious without material profit. Now in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, Krishna emphasizes this point, verse 35. He says, Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushthitat swadharme nidhanam shreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. Translation: it is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties even though they may be faulty than another's duties. See? As we understand, destruction in the course of performing one's own duty, is better than engaging in another's duty. For to follow another's path is dangerous. This is how we understand his instruction. Don't involve bhakti in this at the moment. Bhakti comes, anybody can do bhakti. We are coming to that point. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains this point very nicely. Listen to the purport, it's very beautiful. Hard-hitting purport. Prabhupada writes, one should therefore discharge one's prescribed duties, even though they may be faulty, than another's duties. So Prabhupada says, one should therefore discharge his prescribed duties in full Krishna consciousness, rather than those prescribed for others. So you can be Shudra, perform your bhakti, but don't do others' duties, prescribed duties. You're mixing everything. He says, prescribed duties complement one's psychophysical condition. It is so important word. Prescribed duties complement one's psychophysical condition under the spell of the modes of material nature. Clear cut. Spiritual duties, the second point, spiritual duties are as ordered by the spiritual master. So Prabhupada makes a difference. For the transcendental service of Krishna, but both materially or spiritually, one should stick to his prescribed duties up unto death, rather than to imitate another's prescribed duties. How clearly Prabhupada mentions. Duties on the spiritual platform and duties on the material platform may be different. But the principle of following the authorized direction is always good for the performer. When one is under the spell of the modes of material nature, one should follow the prescribed rules for particular situations and should not imitate others. For example, Prabhupada writes, a Brahmana who is in the mode of goodness is non-violent, whereas Kshatriya who is in the mode of passion is allowed to be violent. As such, for a Kshatriya, it is better to be vanquished, following the rules of violence, than to imitate a Brahmana who follows the principles of non-violence. So Arjuna was saying that, no, it's better to become beggar rather than, becoming the king of this world. I would give it away to my family, let them enjoy. That's why Krishna is saying this. Everyone has to cleanse. I'll just say. Such a Kshatriya is better to vanquish the rules. Okay, now. Everyone has to cleanse his heart by a gradual process, not abruptly. You can change the varnas. However, when one transcends to the modes of material nature, one transcends the mode of material nature and is fully situated in Krishna consciousness, he can perform anything and everything under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. This is to be very understood. Everyone has to cleanse his heart by a gradual process, but not abruptly. However, when one transcends the modes of material nature and is fully situated in Krishna consciousness, only then he can perform anything and everything under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. We mix this, Devotees can do anything. Yes, they can. Provided they are above the modes of material nature. Then they can do anything. Otherwise, they're also struggling. Man. In this complete stage of Krishna consciousness, the Kshatriya may act as a Brahmana, or a Brahmana may act as a Kshatriya. In the transcendental stage, the distinctions of the material world does not apply. For example, Vishwamitra was originally a Kshatriya, but later he acted as a Brahmana. Whereas Parshuram was a Brahmana, but later on he acted as a Kshatriya. Being transcendentally situated, his duties they could do so. Being transcendentally situated, they could do so. But as long as one is on the material platform, one must perform his duties according to the modes of material nature. At the same time, one must have full sense of Krishna consciousness. So we should do together this. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So you see, the point is that bhakti, we should perform bhakti according to our nature. Don't mix it up. But for that, we have to understand what is our nature. Because each of these nature has got its prescribed duties. Brahmana's nature, Kshatriya's nature, Vaishya's nature, and Shudra's nature person are separate. You can see that. We have to act on that platform, and along with it, we should perform our bhakti. Then we are at peace. We are not becoming pure devotees. Then we are at peace. First thing is needed is peace. Man, listen, I am a Shudra. I cannot manage people. You should know this. No problem. There's nothing harm in it. Prabhupada says everything is glorious. Here, Kapil Dev says, one must execute prescribed duties which are glorious. All duties are glorious. Oh, I'm a Vaishya, I need money. So don't worry. You perform bhakti according to do that. But you understand those who are Brahmanas, who are really controlling their senses, who are giving up material prosperity for becoming pure devotees, controlling senses, Pathan, studying, Pathan, teaching, Pathan, all these things Brahmana is doing. So due respect has to be given. But if you are going to worship those people who have got money, Brahmanas have to think, man, what is this going on? All this complexities comes into place, and we get very chaotic conditions where nobody is peaceful. Neither at a personal level we are peaceful, nor at a larger level we are peaceful.
Welcome to Kali Yuga.
Welcome to Kali Yuga. But we all have got our own situations to control. So there will be problems if a Vaishya natured person becomes a Brahmana, work without proper sense control. The first thing Brahmana does is sense control. He will start doing business, as we discussed, instead of focusing upon his energy upon controlling his senses, becoming simple, doing activities like Pathan. He would want luxury and run business. There is chaos then. Similarly, Kshatriyas cannot do Brahmana's job. Kshatriyas have to be diplomatic. They will go to war. They may have to speak lies. It's very wrong, but etc. A true Brahmana would really become frustrated when he sees that a non-Brahmanical person is doing Brahmanical service artificially and making a mess of it. And they'll take a step back and say, "No, you do, no problem, it's chaotic." Similarly, a true Kshatriya who's used to managing things, who sees somebody not Kshatriya managing things, making chaos in a situation, he can see this is wrong. You see, there in management, there are in leadership, there are many definitions of leadership, but there are main two different classes of thoughts in management in material world. One class of thought says that you can train people to become managers and leaders. Others say they are born. You cannot train them. With all my experience and due respect, I believe you can train people to become supervisors, but leaders are born. You can't make a person who is not. But again, see, these are modes of material nature. You can make somebody grow a little bit more, and they can manage things within the limits. But you can't have a foresight. People can't understand what a leader thinks. He's always thinking 2 steps ahead. Always 2 steps ahead. Now this same instruction of 3:35 is repeated by Lord Krishna in the 18th chapter. See, 18th chapter, it reinforces everything, the perfection of renunciation. Most important instructions which are needed for one's spiritual progress are repeated. So the same instructions are repeated in 18th chapter, verse 47. Just listen, same words are there also. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanusthitat svabhava nityam karma kurvan napnoti kilbhasham. Translation: it is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may not we may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and to perform it perfectly. Prescribed duties according to one's nature is never affected by sinful reactions. This is the point to be understood. Sinful reactions meaning what? What are sinful reactions? Means vikarmas. Karma, action, reaction. Sukarma, action, good reaction, good reaction. And vikarma, bad actions, bad reactions. If we make the mistake of becoming a leader when we are not a leader, and you see politics everywhere and downline, you are responsible. Prabhupada writes this point, that the leader always takes the pressure, always the karmas of people following. This is the point. So wherever you find that there is a team of people, they are very nicely coordinating amongst each other, no politics and all. You must understand there's a mind of a leader behind. That means the perfection is there. Similarly, if you find that beautifully the person who is doing a worship, of the deities, perfect mode of goodness flowing everywhere, you understand there's a mind of Brahmana following. So when you see that everything is running very nicely, of money coming in, working things going on, families maintained well, and duties are performed nicely, that is Vaishya's thinking. And a Shudra, when you see that a person is satisfied in what he is doing, does the job, does the work, comes back home, has the money, maintains the family, performs deity worship, whatever he can study, he can't study, doesn't matter, he'll listen. That is a Shudra's duty. This is where first thing is we are at peace. Peace is never from the top level down. Yes, it is from top level down, don't misunderstand me. Right? But the judgment of the peace comes from down level up. When the followers are peaceful, you can achieve unlimited progress in bhakti. And we are in the process of attracting being Krishna's vision. Individually. Collectively, yes, we help each other. But individually, it's a very one-to-one process of loving Krishna. To achieve Nama Bhas, the name of Krishna has got all the emotions of love and separation in it. To chant our holy rounds of the holy names intensely is when we are able to put some emotions in the chanting. Moment we try to put some emotion in our chanting, we will see there is an upliftment of our own bhakti, rather than artificially doing things and making chaos for us and others. This is the point Srila Prabhupada mentioning over and over again. Now, in the current purport of what we studied, there are some very important paragraphs on this point. I'll just repeat and clarify this, okay? So if you see in the current purport of 15, if we're discussing the second paragraph, I've highlighted some points. So anyone, Prabhupada writes, anyone can serve the Supreme Lord by performing his prescribed duties under the direction of a spiritual master or representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means a person has to perform his prescribed duties according to what he has acquired through the modes of material nature affecting him, his body, and then perform his prescribed duties accordingly, perform his devotional service accordingly, in the direction of the spiritual master. The Prabhupada writes, there are no distinctions For it is declared by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita that anyone engaged specifically in devotional service is elevated to the transcendental position without doubt. Anyone performing devotional service can be elevated to transcendental position without doubt. That means everyone, whether one is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, everyone gets equal chance and equal opportunity to love Krishna. There is no need to artificially change our varnas or perform duties of that varna. You see, Prabhupada in the purport mentions that Arjuna was a Kshatriya. He killed and performed his duties. The gopis were the daughters born of Vaishya family. And Prabhupada mentioned, even Nanda Maharaj were a Vaishya king, leader. So they don't have time to think and study. They don't have that intelligence, Prabhupada mentions this. But being situated in that position, they just loved Krishna. Then they gave two things Prabhupada mentions. They loved Krishna and they gave everything, whatever they had, to Krishna. That's it. And Krishna was there, he took birth with them, he danced with them. And they are topmost devotees. Otherwise, Brahmanas would have said we are topmost devotees. Is it not so? Thus we understand that gopis' love for Krishna is topmost. So it is proved that one doesn't need to be changing the varnas to think that only they can become pure devotees. Devotional service transcends everything, provided we are in our varnas and performing those things. Everyone's prescribed duty is glorious, Prabhupada mentions, if it is performed in devotional service of the Lord without desire for profit. Okay? That means a Brahmana should perform Brahmanical duties, a Kshatriya should perform Kshatriya duties. They should not be mixing their duties. Devotional service of chanting, worship, etc. is common according to one's nature. So we do the same thing. Now Krishna is lovable and one has to serve him with whatever capacity one can. In whatever capacity one can. This is pure devotional service. Prabhupada writes this point. That Krishna is lovable. He is a lovable personality. And one has to serve him in whatever capacity one can. That is pure devotional service. That means, that capacity means what? Capacity means one's prescribed duties and one's capabilities. Following one's prescribed duties, as a human being, one can perform devotional service and become free of karma. You see, we have got the material body. We cannot ignore the material body. We are acting on the spiritual platform. But till the time we act on the spiritual platform, we have to use our body to perform our spiritual activities. This is very simple. We complicate it. We don't think so much about it. It's very frustrating, even to myself, on this when I think about it. I'm not thinking like this. Why not? Spend time. What are you? So when we got the body, let us understand this. Now, to finish this discussion, I'm reading some translations. Because in this purport, in this translation of this chapter 15, Lord Kapil Dev is saying two things as we discussed. One is about following one prescribed duties, all are glorious and without material profit. And second is saying that without excessive violence, one should regularly perform one's devotional services. And Prabhupada mentions about even what you eat has to be offered to Krishna. Become purified there also. So these, about prescribed duties, these are some of the following verses from Bhagavad Gita. And these prescribed duties, if you perform, there are no sins involved, even if you perform it imperfectly. You see? So, what are those? These are again in chapter 3. It's a very important chapter. Karma. 9 to 16. Sorry, the translations. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. 9. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work binds one to this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. In that way, you will always remain unattached and free from bondage. You see? So you may be any varnas, if you offer to Krishna, you'll become unattached and free from bondage. Otherwise, will bond you. Karma will bind you in it. Second, 10th, in the beginning of creation, Krishna goes at the very beginning. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy by this yajna or sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you all desirable things." 11. The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you. Thus, nourishing one another, there will reign general prosperity for all. 12. In charge of various necessities of life, the demigods, being satisfied by the performance of yajna or sacrifice, supply all necessities to men. But he who enjoys these gifts without offering them to the demigods in return is certainly a thief. See, because they are also affected by the modes, demigods, Then, the devotees of the Lord, now Krishna is talking about the devotees now, okay, immediately. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. All living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rain. Rains are produced by the performance of yajna, that is sacrifice. And yajna is born of prescribed duties. Again, prescribed duties, you see. Not of bhakti, not of prescribed duties with bhakti. 15. Regulated activities. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas. And the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the all-pervading transcendence is eternally situated in acts of sacrifice. 16. Now, Krishna says, "My dear Arjuna, a man who does not follow his prescribed Vedic system, my dear Arjuna, a man who does not follow this prescribed Vedic system of sacrifice certainly leads a life of sin. For a person delighting only in the senses lives in vain." So here Krishna is giving a caveat at the end in saying that you may be in any varnas, you have to prescribe duties, but if you use your varna only for your sense gratification, then you're living in vain. You must engage this in bhakti yoga as prescribed. Then there will be no sins, you'll be attaching to Krishna, and at the end we will transcend these bodily activities that we have been forced by the material nature. And in that platform, you can perform pure devotional service. This is what I understood from this verse. Very quickly summarizing what I understood is that the translation is: the devotee must execute his prescribed duties, which are glorious, without material profit, without excessive violence. One should regularly perform one's devotional activities. So we saw that how Krishna is instructing in the Bhagavad Gita that it's far better to perform one's prescribed duty than to perform someone else's duty faultily. Perform a duty faultily rather than somebody else's perfectly. That's not going to help you. It's very dangerous. And Prabhupada writes this point in the purports which we discussed. Then we discussed how mixing of the varnas, performance of Brahmana doing Kshatriya work, Kshatriya doing Brahmana work, Shudra doing all this chaotic situation, the person is not at peace, followers are not at peace. No peace, and you take the blame. That is wrong. We saw the same verse in chapter 18 also, Krishna reinforcing the same point that perform your own prescribed duties. Although imperfectly, it is good, no problem, rather than performing someone else's prescribed duties perfectly. This is not good. You'll be free from sinful reaction with that. This is very important. It says, are never affected by sinful reactions. Then we saw in this particular purport that every prescribed duty is glorious. No need to think that I'm Shudra mentality, I'm very bad, Brahmana is better. No, that's not right. In any way you can perform devotional service and grow. But at the same time, if you artificially do other activities of a Brahmana, if you're a Shudra or a Vaishya or a Kshatriya, then a true Brahmana is going to get frustrated by things. He's going to take a step back and say, you do it. This is not good. Or a Kshatriya, any Brahmana or somebody doing the Kshatriya duties, he says, no, you do it. This is chaotic. This is not right. They can understand things are going wrong, falling apart, chaos, problems all the time. We saw this very practically. And we saw at the end of it that how these prescribed duties in chapter 3 itself, in the very beginning of creation, they were defined. Even the demigods have to perform the prescribed duties. That's what Indra did. Became upset. But Krishna says, don't serve Indra, serve Krishna, serve me. We worship Govardhan Hill, and it became Govardhan Hill, on this point. Because demigods are also victims of material nature, like us. May not be as directly, but there is there. They are there. So, the summum bonum, the main summary of this is that as we have got this body that we have got because based upon our past karmas, these are made of the three modes of material nature. Chaturvarnam Maya Shashtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Krishna says this point. Based upon it, there are 4 divisions created by Krishna of Varna and Ashrama. We, as devotees, have to first understand what Varna we are situated in, and we should perform prescribed duties accordingly. We perform our prescribed duties accordingly, and with that we must perform bhakti. There are 2 separate things we must do together. Then, in any Varna that we are in, we will progress spiritually. And we will not create confusion among our family members or those who are following us. This is what I understood from this verse. All of you are very learned scholars and Srimad Bhagavatam students, reciters also, Bhagavad Gita. Please, I have not covered all the points, I'm sure, because of my limited thinking and intelligence and the time factor. So please feel free to share your realizations. Hare Krishna.
This is a very big subject. We have to understand it in order to be able to progress nicely in our bhakti, because otherwise it's just chaos. Trying to be a Brahmana when we're a Sudra.
Yes.
So I'm quite happy to remain a fool. It is where I'm very peaceful.
The Brahmana fool or Kshatriya fool, nature fool, it's fine. According to prescribed duties,
I'll be a Sudra fool. It's the best place.
Best place.
But then just by serving others, by having a serving mood and serving all the other varnas like that, it's very helpful, So we won't be peaceful if we try and imitate something else. Krishna is saying in the Gita, imitate in others, just be very honest.
Yes.
And then you can become peaceful. So just by being satisfied in our varna, in our ashram, we can make a lot of progress. It's like you were saying, you don't have to be a Brahmana to execute devotional service. You just got to offer whatever you can to Krishna and he will happily accept it. It's a very simple science, but it can be very difficult when we're thinking, I have to be this, I have to be that. It's not actually a fact. Just be happy. Chant Hare Krishna.
Chant Hare Krishna.
And be happy.
That's right. Be satisfied with the person. Very good. You use the word satisfaction. You use the word peaceful, and then you use the word progress. These are very important things. Important words.
We become free from anxiety.
Free from anxiety.
Otherwise we're so anxious.
Yes.
What's happening? I don't know what I'm doing.
That's right.
So just be peaceful and do whatever you do nicely and do it for Krishna.
That's right. And to understand one's own position is very critical, as you say. And then be peaceful in that. Automatically you'll find peace. That's it. Many times children who are adopted, with the foster parents, they may be very happy in their foster family, but still they want to know who is my real parent. They are not at peace till the time. The moment they meet their original parents, what was the reason why you left me or whatever it is, okay, you're at peace. So that is the point. If a prescribed duty is this, if you do something else artificially, we are not at peace.
And it's not natural. The modes won't let you do that.
That's right.
The modes will be in ignorance more or whatever it is, and it'll be a disaster.
That's right.
It might look all right for a while, but it's destined to fail.
Destined to fail.
So,
very true.
Just accept our lot.
Very true.
And the humility. If you've got the humility as well, that makes it even easier.
Yes, yes. You'll be surprised. It will come automatically if you are in prescribed duties. It's automatic to be done. If you are situated where you are, automatically, you don't have nothing to be proved. This is what I am. Here, Krishna, according to my karma, I'm giving everything to you.
We're not pretending.
Not pretending. Not pretending.
That's another word that Krishna uses.
Very true. Pretenders.
Don't be a pretender.
Don't be a pretender. Very good. Very
Just
true.
cheating ourselves.
Important words. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. You have to say something? Yeah? You have to say something?
What did you mean when you said that peacefulness of the people comes from the bottom up?
Okay. Yes, good. It's good question. It's a two-way process. If the leader is peaceful, yeah, doing activities according to his prescribed duties, if he's a true leader, born as a leader, then he is peaceful in his own means, with his, what he is and he can do. Because a leader's duty is to lead. Okay? A Kshatriya duty is to lead. If it's a Brahmanical quality, be honest with it. So the people who are following it will see there is no hypocrisy in this. There's peacefulness. The moment there is hypocrisy anywhere, then everybody will start to become a hypocrite.
We can see that with the situation in the USA and our own situation. It's quite a contrast.
That's right. That's right. In a way, that's also true. In a way, that is also true. Hypocrisy will never work. Materially also, especially in spiritual things, it can never work. So yes, that is the point which I was saying. And as they say that the best way to preach is when the devotees are happy. Prizes. So then when they talk to each other, okay, these people, there's no complicity, there's no one-upmanship. I like this. There's no one-upmanship in outside world. This world is very nice. So this is a challenge for us individually and collectively as a team also. Yeah. Very nice, thank you. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Gaur Chandra Prem Anande Hari Hari Bol.